page 280, number 1. The question asks to graph the following functions: x to the minus 1, x to the minus 2, x to the minus 3, and x to the minus 4. So the graphs of x to the minus 1 and x to the minus 3 generally kind of look like this. I probably can't distinguish between the two on the scale of the video here, but that's going to be the graph of x to the minus 1 and x to the minus 3. It's going to look something like this. The graphs of x to the minus 2 and x to the minus 4, however, are going to look kind of like this, where we have the y-axis still serves as a vertical asymptote, but the graph is always positive. So something along the lines of what you see on the screen there would be approximately the graph of x to the minus 2 and x to the minus 4. So let's make some conjectures about this. The limit as x goes to infinity of x to the n, if n is a negative integer, then it looks to me like that limit is 0. Furthermore, the limit as x goes to infinity x goes to negative infinity of x to the n also is equal to 0. And that's by looking at the graphs going this way. As x gets large, the y-coordinate gets close to 0. And as x gets large and negative, the graph is getting closer and closer. The y-coordinate is getting closer and closer to 0 again. Okay, let's now take a look at the limit as x approaches 0 from above x to the n. Okay, well, either way, if x approaches 0 from above, 0 plus, then the y-coordinate is blowing up and blowing up positive. So this is equal to plus infinity. The interesting case is the limit as x approaches 0 from below x to the n. Well, here there's two different cases. If n is even, and then I approach from below, x0 from below, then it blows up and blows up positive. So that's if n is even. However, if I have the limit as x approaches 0 from below x to the n, and n is odd, then for odd values of n, then as x approaches 0 from below, it blows up and blows up negative. So this is negative infinity for n odd. Okay, so that is the answers to part C. Finally, let's take a look at part D of this exercise. And the question was, what is the range of f? Well, again, just looking at the graph, it depends. If n is odd, like on the left-hand side, then the range is all real numbers except for 0. So that's the range if n is odd. However, the range would be all positive real numbers if n is even. And so that's the answer to this exercise involving x to the n, where n is a negative integer.